Good evening, class. So, today's topic is environmental quality management and the tools available for managing the quality of the environment. So, basically, there are four actions that can be taken or tools available, that is, environmental management planning, environmental impact assessment, environmental auditing, and life cycle assessment and management. Environmental management planning has various parameters like human population sustainability, global perspective, emerging technologies, values and knowledges, and urbanization. So let's start first with environmental management planning. So environmental planning, it takes into account the important thing is to take into account the social realities, and the salient issues and concerns are, first is human population. So since the population is continuing to increase, even on a global level, not just regionally, on the global level, it is important to carefully plan to ensure that wise decisions are taken. So basically, we have to conserve and preserve the ecosystem, and we have to construct our urban environment accordingly with the pace in which the population is increasing. Next is sustainability. So sustainability means usage of resources in a sustainable way, basically in an appropriate way, so that we are able to grow also, and there is no wastage also, and resources are saved for the future generation also. So environmental planning is important for sustainable development. Concepts of environmental impact analysis, mitigation of adverse environmental impact are integral parts of various projects and activities. Next is global perspective. It is important to develop international environmental agreements despite the conflicting interests. Next is urbanization. There is large scale migration towards cities and urban areas, and therefore the urban areas need more attention in terms of environmental management planning. Emerging technologies. So there has been industrial revolution on the environment, which has led to damaging effects. So therefore it is important that as the technology is emerging, we should take caution, and we should use the technology keeping in mind the cost that the problem that has been caused to the environment due to that technology. Values and knowledge. Again, it is important to develop new and relevant knowledge, tools and technologies to assist in environmental planning and processes. Next point is environmental impact assessment. So EIA, as we call it, environmental impact assessment, is an analysis of changes produced by the developmental activity or project or action that is taking place. So how does that project or activity is impacting the environment? So basically it consists of, first thing, we have to study about that project, and it consists of, we have to do the literature survey, field study, the area in which the project is happening basically, and impact assessment, how that project in that particular area will impact the environment in that area. So different projects. So if one project is happening in area A, it might impact the environment in a different way than when it happens in area B. So we have to keep all these things in mind. And how we have to study these points? On the basis of land usage, soil that is there in the area, water usage, water quality, air quality, aquatic and terrestrial ecology, noise, all these things, how these things are getting affected basically. And the basic stages of studies are baseline condition. First is baseline condition. So what happens in baseline conditions? It involves studying the existing total environmental condition in the area. Okay, so we have to study the environmental condition in the area in which the project is taking place. Next is scoping. Now scoping is the process of identifying of relevant environmental issues, concerns or methods, the interest of the people that is present in the area in which the project is taking place. And as a part of scoping, there is a term known as term of reference, or TOR, for full scale study It is prepared, which consists of background information on the area, methodology used for identification of relevant issues, environmental issues and concerns in that particular area, specific environmental impact assessment guidelines, time limits for completion of study, budget, EIA report format. So after the study they have to prepare a report, other relevant information about the area and the project that is taking place, reference list, annexes, maps, photographs. So basically all the proofs that we have collected, drawings, charts, tables related to the project as well as to the area and the impact on the environment in that area. Next point is EIA report. So after the study we have to prepare a report, and this report should be concise and should address the main methods of the environmental issues. So what does this report consist of? It consists of the main body, report annexes and report references. So the main body will consist of the summary, project description, baseline information, identification of the environmental issues, analysis, alternative analysis, review of the policy and legal framework, monitoring mechanisms and auditing design. Report annexes, as we have stated in this slide, will consist of maps, photographs, devices, audio or video, slides, recordings, figures, drawings and all these things. Then EIA report references consist of publications consulted for preparing the report. Next is mitigation measures. Now once the report is prepared, we need to take actions to reduce or avoid the effect of the potential environmental consequence that has been caused in that area. And the main kind of mitigation measures, one of them is compensatory measures. So what happens in compensatory measures? We have to compensate. So there are some impacts that are unavoidable due to setting up of a project or industry in a particular area, and compensatory measures tend to compensate for those unavoidable impacts, like restoring of damaged resources, rehabilitation of displaced settlements, compensation to affected people. Next is corrective measures. Now these are adopted to reduce the impact to acceptable levels. For example, we have pollution. If some project is causing air pollution which is not in the acceptable level, so we cannot eliminate it completely, but we will try to take corrective measures to reduce it to the acceptable levels. So basically it includes, for example, installation of pollution control devices, construction of effluent treatment plants and all these things. Next is preventive measures. So the adverse impacts may be reduced or eliminated before occurrence by introducing preventive measures, for example, implementation of health education programs, initiation of public awareness programs, etc. Environmental impact assessment also consists of a review of the draft of EIA report, and it is necessary to review it not only by the project proponent alone but also by an independent body and very necessarily by the public. Impact monitoring. Now we have to monitor the environmental impact that particular project is going to have, and it is essential to ensure the impacts these impacts do not exceed the legal standards, and checking the implementation of mitigation measures in the manner described in the EIA report, and providing early warnings of potential environmental damage. Next is evaluation. Evaluation is a continuous process, and EIA evaluation is important to assess the performance of environmental protection programs undertaken by responsible agencies for that particular project. Next comes environmental auditing. So auditing refers to assessment of performance basically. So common types of audits are decision point audit, which examines the effectiveness of EIA as a decision making tool. Implementation audit, which ensures that consented conditions have been met. Performance audit examines the response of agencies concerned with the project. Project impact audit examines environmental changes arising from the project that is going on. Prediction Technique audit examines the accuracy and utility of the predictive techniques by comparing actual environmental effects against the predicted environmental effects. Okay. EIA procedure audit, it examines the methods and approaches that are adopted during the environmental impact assessment study. Next point is life cycle assessment and management. So life cycle assessment is a tool through which we can basically evaluate the environmental effects of the project or a product, process, industry, product basically, which is the outcome of that project that is going on in a cyclic manner. So this diagram basically shows what are the inputs and what are the outputs of a life cycle stage. So basically we are giving raw materials and energy as inputs. Then manufacturing is done, reuse and maintenance is done, recycle and waste management is done within the project, and we have to assess the emissions in the environment, basically atmospheric emissions, that is air, waterborne waste, solid waste, co-products and other releases of that particular project. All these things is done in life cycle assessment and management. Thank you class. That's all for environmental quality management.